supplementation. It's going to be quite basic. Maybe some trim. The whole point of this series, walk you guys through, how to lose weight from start to finish without having to pay a coach or without having to, fork out any money.
I've become a massive loner. That's why I'm here with Sage. So I think what led me to getting to this position I'm in.
Get the clothes off for me, sir.
Here it is.
Give him a hug while I'm at it. It's something that a lot of people get disheartened with. All right, so we're going to run through the game plan and all the plans that have been uploaded on Byron's account on the Rival app. Operation Get Shredded as Fuck. I'll show you guys a bit of a screen recording on what's in place. I like to take more of a flexible approach. That's the way we navigate dieting.
That's been a massive issue as well.
You guys can probably relate to this because once you have a bite, that bitch is probably gone. But
Remember the day where I figured out how many calories were in Koopy Mayo?
Call me Mr. Mayo. The whole point of this app is to house everything in one spot. So that's a wrap on Byron's game plan and what we're going to be starting off with.
You feel good when you're looking good. Get stronger again, feel good in my body, feel able. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what we can get happening.
All right, he's just pulled up. Let's go get him and bring him upstairs. Here he is. Yo! What's good?
Everything.
It's all happening. Welcome, brother. Good to see you. Welcome to my crib.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I'm sweating.
I've had too much caffeine.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So Byron here. We actually used to live together. Funny enough, probably over a year ago.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Just over a year now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So we used to live together. He's been in the gym for a while. As you know, I've been in the gym for a while. And the whole point of this series, walk you guys through, how to lose weight from start to finish. So you guys can then implement these tools and actually apply it to your weight loss without having to pay a coach or without having to, fork out any money. So hopefully you guys can, walk away learning something from this and just be able to apply it for yourself. I guess we'll just start with who you are, what you do, your age and stuff.
Of course. So I'm Byron. I'm 22 now. As Sage said, we were roommates about a year ago for about a year as well. And during that year, I was going hard in the gym and just doing my thing, working, training, living. You know how it is. But yeah, honestly, since moving out, I moved way out, pretty rural now. I'm about an hour away from here, inland. And with that being said, I haven't changed my gym subscription from Burleigh, so it's a 45-minute drive. And yeah, that gets old pretty quickly. But on top of that, my business has been like my key focus over the last year, and I've just had my head down. I pretty much don't really socialize with anyone anymore. I've become a massive loner. It's just been me and my partner just hustling, honestly, and it's been great, but at the same time, the both of us have just let ourselves go in the sense of our fitness and just health and lifestyle, to be honest, and it's been a massive sacrifice, which is starting to weigh on us, and it doesn't feel good. So that's why I'm here with Sage, ready to actually just get my head back down, get my body, get my physical, get my mentals back on track for myself and my health and wellness and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, excited to get back into it, see what we can do and how much we can transform this physique, because it's gotten dusty over the last year, unfortunately.
Any challenges you've had prior to this, and kind of why you've gotten to the point you are now? Is it potentially eating under stress, emotional eating? Is it just a lack of motivation? Just something, a bit further?
Of course. So I think what led me to getting to this position I'm in now, where my health and wellness has just taken the back seat of the bus, it's fallen off, it's non-existent right now, is I've been stressed, I've been working hard, it's been non-stop, I've been putting in 19 plus hour days, 4 hours sleep, working till 4 a.m, just trying to turn around projects. I do video and photo work as well, and it can get extensive, just sitting behind the computer all day, and I've been prioritizing that, which is great and all, but at the same time, I've obviously just let myself down in other areas that are also just as important for myself, and also being able to work better. So in the sense of I'm sitting down at my desk 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours of the day, just sitting there, not getting steps in. I'm eating emotionally, just trying to snack away, give myself a little bit extra dopamine for a kick, or, chugging down a coffee or something at 12 a.m. to keep my eyes open while I'm working. And, it adds up over time, especially when you're not in the gym actively and getting things done, not tracking. I used to track my macros, and, I've been on the fitness kick before, where like I was locked in, especially when I was living with Sage as well. It was a great motivator while living with him in the first place to just keep my head down, keep in the gym every day. Work-life balance was amazing then, honestly. So I guess it's time to find that balance again, reignite that spark for the gym, because I used to be so obsessed with it. I loved it, like hitting PBs every other week, just consistently growing, getting bigger and bigger and bigger in every way. So with Sage now, I'm ready to just step back in, get things going in the right direction, and just see how much we can change in every sense of mindset and just health and wellness in general.
Fuck yeah. And for those of you guys who don't know Byron, he's a videographer, photographer. He has his own media agency. So I'll be sure to link him in every video if you want to go run him up. All right, guys, so we're going to get his start weight, all his measurements and stuff, and get him set up, ready to go. So get the clothes off for me, sir.
Here it is.
What a good frame, guys. It's going to be a really good transformation.
Yeah, it's
And
just got a bit dusty. It's been neglected.
I've seen Byron in like good shape, in peak condition, and he does look really good. So this will be exciting to get to work.
I feel like I've managed in the last month. I've gotten skinny fat. Like, I feel like I've lost muscle mass and just gotten fattier.
Yeah. Quarter turn, like either way. Front. And we're gonna measure the waist too. Give him a hug while I'm at it. 86.5 centimeters. Obviously he has socks on, but we're at 86.5. And when it comes to scale weight, we're going to be seeing some fluctuations. It's going to be up, down, left, right, diagonal. It's something that a lot of people get disheartened with. And honestly, it's always good to track your scale weight, but don't look at it on a day-to-day basis. Look at it on a weekly average, like Monday through to Sunday, but each week. And then look at it at the end of a month, end of 3 months, for example, because again, depends on water intake, salt intake, sleep, stress, and like 100 different other things can impact your weight fluctuations. So keep that in mind if you're following along this journey and you want to lose some weight. It's going to be disheartening, but you need to push through. All right, so we're going to run through the game plan and all the plans that have been uploaded on Byron's account on the Rival app. First off, we're going to start with the goal we've set in place. Operation Get Shredded as Fuck.
That's a good name. I like that one.
Self-explanatory there. The time that we've set for this particular goal is going to be over 12 weeks. So we're going to do 12 videos, potentially even shorter, seeing how we're going. But that's going to be the end goal, to see how we get in, what's 12 weeks? 120 days? 90 days?
Oh, man, that's a hard one to
yeah,
do in
that's
your
hard
head.
math. For a step count, we've set this for 8,000 per day. I know on Byron's Q&A form, it is quite low due to his job, sitting and editing. So we're going to try push, at least try for 8,000 a day as a start goal. And then from here, hopefully, if we get a good routine in place and we can manage to bring this up, we'll potentially look at expanding this a bit further. Reason being, if you guys are trying to lose weight, and it's going to come down to two things. It's calories in, calories out. So when you are losing weight, you might plateau a little bit. You've got two options really. It's going to be eat less food or do more day to day. And I mean, I'd rather do more than eat less, because eventually you're going to get to the point where you're eating fuck all and you're living off chicken and salad. That's the extreme, but reality is if you're not moving much, you just have to eat less.
And I need an excuse to get out of the house more.
Yeah.
Away from my desk and my screen.
Okay, cool. So some pointers throughout the day in this particular case I've noted for Byron. Some little things that add up, like parking further away from, he works for himself, but even things like the gym, the shops, you can just park a little bit further away. This is going to accumulate more steps walking to and from your car. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but these things do add up throughout the day. We've also got walking in between sets at the gym. When you're at the gym, instead of resting in between sets and going on your phone and whatnot, we can just get up, go for a little stroll. You might look like a bit of a freak. Don't get me wrong, I do it all the time at the gym, and people sometimes get the look at you, but these steps in between your rest periods at the gym, you might accumulate like 1,000 to 2,000 extra per day. So it does add up very quick.
It's better than just sitting on your phone in between sets.
Yeah, exactly.
And people giving you the side eye for that one too.
So you're in trouble no matter what these days, but but if you are scrolling in between your sets at the gym, you're most likely going to be resting much longer than what you actually need. So we'll keep that to a minimum. Things like if you're on phone calls or business meetings might be different, but if you're on a phone call, you can always get up and walk around. So I do this as well. If someone gives me a call, or a mate, or Jenna, for example, I'll like get up from my chair and I'll just pace around the house just slowly. just to accumulate some easy steps. At least if you're going to be sitting there on your phone not multitasking, you may as well get some steps while you're at it.
I feel like that's a male default setting, hey?
Yeah, I think guys do this automatically, but we don't have any other cardio for yet. Right now, we're just going to focus on building those habits and bringing the steps up as much as we can. So every new client that comes through, we have a Q&A form process in place. So you guys or whoever comes through has to give us as much detail as possible on things like your routine, how many days a week you can train, any injury history, pretty much anything like this, diet requirements. So in Byron's case, you did list that you could go 6 days a week, but for this plan in particular, what I've done is just a 4-day split to get started. So it's going to be quite simple. We've got lower, upper, rest, lower, upper, rest on weekends. So we can play with this a little bit. I'll obviously communicate with you to make sure that these days are actually set out best for your routine.
Yeah.
That way, if you like training on Saturday, that's fine. We can train Saturday. We'll just have to play around with the rest days. Reason for this is being back into an actual plan and a routine. We just need to make sure that Byron can first of all recover in between sessions, because if you're training sore, you may as well just go home and rest up. It's going to be a bit pointless. We'll make sure his recovery is good. We'll make sure we're building that routine together and that you can actually show up 4 times a week. And if we can and we're recovering well, we'll potentially increase to 5. But honestly, 4 days a week is a pretty solid split.
Yeah.
Even myself, I train 4 days a week and I love it. Volume across these days has been split up. So we've got 2 lower days, obviously. One day is going to be more quad focused. Yeah. One day is going to be more posterior focused. I'll show you guys a bit of a screen recording on what's in place. If you're unaware, if you've never tracked with a workout app before. So basically, it's just going to eliminate any guesswork if you guys have never used it before. All you do is hit log this workout. You can put your reps and your weight in. In my app, you hit a little tick and it'll start a rest timer for you. You don't have to stress about it. It gives you a little ding when it's time to get back into your set. So there's videos in place if you're unsure what the exercises are, and we'll try to leave a little note or explanation if you're really new to the gym and you're only just starting to get into it. You guys will see this in future episodes anyways, where we're going to go train together and run through the sessions together. So that'll be a good time. We're going to start by like a 2 to 3 RAR or reps in reserve, and the reason for this is just so when we go in, we might not be familiar with some movements. You might be really sore in some cases if you just go in and smash it out.
That first week's brutal.
Yeah, as you know. So we're just going to kind of set the foundation, make sure the movements are all good, there's no pain, no issues, and then that way we're quite easily we're going to be able to progressive overload each week. Even though he's going to be in a deficit, we're still going to gain strength and grow some muscle tissue in the process. Nutrition at the moment, this is kind of based on you increasing your steps, so that'll be a big one, trying to get that routine under place.
Yeah.
But we're sitting around the 2,300 calories at the moment, quite a fair bit of protein, 180 grams of protein, 61 grams of fat, and then 235 grams of carbs roughly. Again, I like to take more of a flexible approach, so we're going to try, allow an off-plan meal here and there, but just to start, we want to try keep as high adherence as we can for the first week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It might suck for a week or two, but if we can stick to it as best as possible, this will just be good data for us to then,
figure out where I'm at.
Yeah, and then make some further educated decisions on your plans and whatnot. So the first week, potentially, if we can, no off-plan meals. And then from here, we'll start incorporating like date nights or anything like that. Or even if we go get food together, we can kind of make that work together. For everyone that comes on board, we give everyone like quite a few options. So for this example, Byron's got 3 breakfast options. He's got 3 lunch options. He's got some snacks throughout the day, a post-workout meal, 3 dinner options, and then dessert. So it's still quite a lot of food considering it's only 2,300 calories, which some guys might hear and be like, fuck, like I'm gonna die on this. You can make it a lot of food. It just depends on your food choices, and of course you need to include the macros as well and the fruit and veg. Make sure the fiber intake is up. And supplementation, it's gonna be quite basic, just creatine and protein. I have some other stuff in there for Byron if he needs, but it's not gonna be anything that's really required, I guess. And
no gear.
Yeah, unfortunately no test. Maybe some trend.
Of course, just casual. It's all
just
good.
Trend, that's it. But I was getting told to go buy fat burners or BCAAs and all this shit. Honestly, it's a bit of a waste of money. Take it, try it if you want. Fat burner is basically just a pre-workout. Personally, I use creatine, I use whey protein. That's it. And a lot of my clients as well, I'll tell them to use the same. And if they have issues, like if you have some troubles with sleep, we can include some sleep supplements or digestion supplements, whatever the case is, but we need this data first to then make that educated decision.
Yeah. That's probably one thing that I'm like lacking the most of is like sleep. Like sleep routine and everything like that. Like, it's my biggest short straw as well.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us sleep is like a thing where you go to bed at 8 p.m. but you don't actually sleep until 11 or midnight, or in your case you're editing all night.
I'll be working until like I need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And, you know, your brain's just wired, still thinking and
thinking about work and whatnot.
Trying to shut down.
So in that case, there's some supplements we can take prior to bed. But it's more so going to be like your routine around sleep.
Yeah.
I know like with work you're quite busy, so we'll have to try to figure this out together.
Yeah, of course.
Sleep's going to be a massive one for weight loss as well.
Super important.
The main idea around this flexible dieting and just making sure that we're not eating boring ass salads and shit, because this is not sustainable long term. Like if you eat salad and all this real tight shit for 12 weeks and super healthy or whatever you want to call it, you're going to get to the end of your block or whatever, however long you last on it, because realistically most people might do 2 weeks and fuck off if that's the case. But we take this approach because it's more sustainable. You can eat this long term, you can do it for the rest of your life, you can learn how to track food, and then you can also eat out on the weekends or whatever the case is without blowing out and, you know, becoming a slob again and going back into those old habits. So that's the way we navigate dieting on our end, and why we try and incorporate things like chocolate and off-plan meals into your guys' routine. What have you been eating like lately, or what's your go-to at the moment?
Cafe down the road has been supplying
the coffee, the croissants,
coffee, good old, like, you know, I try and get a little bit of extra chicken on the things that come with chicken. Like eggs Benny,
extra protein,
extra chicken.
Yeah.
But no, like I've been so bad with just organizing my life, my general life, where like getting groceries on a weekly basis, like I haven't. I'll get it like once a month. I'll do like a big shop and it won't last the month, so end up going and getting cafe food most of the time. Go like Starbucks, Zarafas, GYG for dinners, kind of a thing. Like try my best to like get things that are like lower calorie or like higher in protein and stuff, but at the end of the day, like if you're doing that every day, it's not sustainable in any way. But other than that, like I'll eat a good chunk of steak most nights, like some sweet potato, all that kind of stuff when we are cooking, and you know that side of things is good when we're on top of it. But I'd say it's 75% of the time where we're just eating whatever feels good. That's been a massive issue as well, where it's just like nutrients is just low. Like my skin's been breaking out. I've been feeling like shit. Just general inflammation from these shitty foods as well. And then obviously not really tracking any sort of macros or even just overall calorie intake, just winging it. You know, I've done decent to a point where like I haven't necessarily gained much weight over the last year, but my whole like body composition has completely changed. So
you guys can probably relate to this, because if you feel like you're stuck and you're trying to eat healthier, but then, you know, you potentially might be lying to yourself when you go out on the weekends, and, you know, a Friday night dinner with your friends might turn into a Saturday morning breakfast, and then going to see your mum for lunch, and then Saturday night you go out and have a few drinks or whatever. And then again, Sunday you might wake up and be like, oh fuck, like I've got to go to my shop. And then it just rolls over a 3-day weekend basically.
Haven't done my groceries on Monday, and didn't get a chance Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then boom, a whole nother week's blown out. It's like your reels that you make where you're just pouring out a cup and then just throw out the rest of it.
It's just may as well just go, fuck it, I'm done. And it's only Monday, you've thrown the rest of the week out.
So bad.
And to keep in mind, it's the same thing with your weight fluctuations that we spoke about earlier, where your calorie intake is going to be more like of a weekly thing. So if you're in a deficit, you're in a 500 calorie deficit each day, Monday through Thursday, but then you add those Friday, Saturday, Sunday calories up, that's going to bring like this deficit back up to maintenance, or in most cases some people even eat more. So yes, you're eating healthy 4 out of 7 days a week, but this weekend area is just going to absolutely fuck you over and push your weekly intake to where you're actually gaining fat or maintaining, which like it's so easy to see why people get stuck.
So easy.
It's like 4 days, you're like, fuck yeah, such a good week.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this one little blowout has just undone all that progress.
The same as even just like skipping out on your steps each day. It's like those extra calories burnt add up every single day to put you into that deeper deficit as well.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, or if you like, you know, for the people watching, they're like going to like a Stairmaster or something, they're watching like how many calories they burn. You're like, fuck, I need to be on here for 2 hours straight to burn off just one cookie or some shit,
exactly.
you know? It's easier to just cut it.
Of having like a big like a full cookie, which, you know, once you have a bite, that bitch is probably gone, but you just need to limit it to smaller amounts or buy single serve packs. So instead of buying a big packet of, you know, like Red Rock deli chips, buy the pack that has individual servings and then have one serve a day. That way it's more sustainable. You can have that one serve a day and it's only going to be like, I don't know, but like 100 calories, for example, rather than opening that packet and before you know it, you've had 90% of it and then you go, oh, fuck it, I'll finish it.
Yeah.
You know, and then you've had 1,000 calories and then that just adds up again super quick. So actually had this conversation with a client recently. If you're watching this, Chow, you know, we had this convo the other day. His nickname's Chow, not his actual name.
So good.
But he asked me and said like, oh, our routine on game day, he plays footy. His routine on game day was to have an eggs benny in the morning for breakfast. And I said, okay, cool, like we can make that work. But the thing is with eggs benny, when you look at it, it's not like an unhealthy meal. It's just the sauce is got so much fat in it and those calories add up so quick. So what I told him game plan wise is order the eggs benny, but under like, you know, these requirements, trying to lose weight, of course. You can still have it, but swap the bacon for ham. You're going to save you a fuckload of calories. And then order the sauce on the side rather than coming on top, because when it's on top you can't control it, you're going to eat all the sauce. If it's on the side you can dip or just pour like a little bit of it on. You're still going to get that taste, you're still going to get it in just for like literally half the calories. So if you guys love a benny, try that next time. Still tastes good and you still get it in.
Remember the day where I figured out how many calories were in Koopy Mayo?
It's always a sad day when you find that. When I go to get my haircut, they call me Mr. Mayo. This is my first video that blew up was actually on Koopy.
No way.
Yeah,
really.
Everyone was like, don't hate on the Koopy. Right, so we'll just run you guys through the app so you and Byron both know how to completely use it. So this is going to be the client dashboard where you can pretty much see all the generic data. We've got his goals set in place, so 12 weeks starting from today. This will most likely tick over for an extra week, just because it is midweek and we're just doing this for the video series. Weight, which will be uploaded, and you can see a graph once we start putting some data in. Water tracker, a step count, down almost 1,000 for the day, so not too bad. And you can always adjust all this as we go. So we have a daily habits in place, as you can see up the top. So if you tap on Wednesday, for example, it's just a very short form that people fill out once per day. Step count, fasted weight, hunger, sleep, digestion, and how was your training, and then one win you had for the day. It's just a good way to, or you can also put down the bottom, remind me in 2 hours. So we send a reminder out once a day in the afternoon, so you guys can fill this out before you go to sleep. But basically, it's a good way to just stay accountable day to day, and it's more data for us as a coach to see how your day has been as well. If we go into our weekly check-in, so in your case, it'll be a Tuesday, and then that way when we link up on a Wednesday, I've got all this information here. So for those of you that have never had a coach before, a weekly check-in is basically a bit of reflection for the week, how your diet was, how your adherence to the plan was, training, any issues you may have, photos, current weight, anything you'd like change, for example, if you want a meal change or you want some changing in your training, you just let your coach know and then we give you this feedback and make the changes based on this form each week. Personally, with Rival, we do weekly Zoom calls, so you'll have a Zoom meeting with your coach, an online call. We'll run through your form live with you and tell you what changes we've made and why, and educate you guys along the journey so you can learn and get some extra value from your calls. On the bottom, we have the different tabs, so let's go into the workout, for example. The whole point of this app is to house everything in one spot, so you guys don't have to think about anything. You just go in, you rock up on the day, and it's all set out ready for you. Up the top, that this is a big program overview, so I'll get Byron to read this whenever he gets a chance later on in the week. But this will just explain everything in more depth and explain warm-ups, deloads, anything along those lines, RPE, reps in reserve, tempo. Try to just put it all in one spot, so when you come to a new training plan, you know exactly what the game plan is. All the days, training days, are going to be on this scroll bar, so you can see rest days, upper, lower, for example. If we go into Tuesday, upper one, you go log this workout when he gets to the gym. And then as you can see, we've got a video. We've got videos for each exercise, so this hopefully will be updated in the near future. It will actually be myself or a head coach of me talking through the exercise. But for now, it's all exercises. Some of them have voiceovers or talking in it as well. We've got sets, the rep ranges for those sets, rest timers, tempo, RPE, And then all you do when you go into the gym is you log your weight. So for example, 100 kilos, 8 reps. And for this case in particular, we'll go 8 RPE, hit the tick, and then you've got your rest timer that starts up the top there. As you go through the workout, of course, you complete each set, and then you just finish the workout off, and you can rate how hard it was at the end. Yeah, so it's just super nice and simple to use, and your whole session will be labeled out from start to finish in order. Now, same with nutrition, everything's housed in the one app, so this is a full breakdown of everything. So he's got all of his meals, the measurements of it, like how much in grams of each ingredient, and then you don't really need to know, but the breakdown of all the macros are there too. So if you're following a meal plan, you basically just follow the ingredients and the measurements, and then we'll worry about your macros and whatnot. But his full meal plans there laid out from top to bottom, from breakfast through to dessert, and we have alternative options, as I mentioned before. So if you just hit this little icon there, we've got a few different breakfast options you can choose from. So for example, halfway through the week you want to change it up, let's go overnight wheat bix for example, it just opens up that new meal there, so it's quite easy and simple to swap over. For those of you, for example, if you wanted to remove an ingredient or you wanted to track your own food, let's just, for this example, let's remove the Lotus Biscoff spread on top, so that's been removed for the day. You can actually manually add food, just like similar to MyFitnessPal, so you can search up Nutella if you're more of a Nutella person, and it should come up in there. There'll be a verified tick as well. Or if I bring this, I've got some Nutella here, speak of the devil. You can actually manually scan the barcode. Oh, there we go, picked it up straight away. So Nutella, you just put the grams in, and it's similar to MyFitnessPal, where it will just log the same thing. Yeah, in the app, so it'll automatically add that onto your plan once you log it. And everything you guys log, so if you just complete this for the day, it ticks it off. We can now see this on our back end as a coach, and we know exactly what you're eating day to day. And if we go into your notes, we've got like the total breakdown, a bunch of notes on hydration, meal prepping, weighing food, all that good stuff, just kind of clearing the air on everything you need to know when it comes to your meal plan. And again, if we scroll down, we've got all our notes for each meal. So we try and make it as simple as possible for you guys for your meals. So, you know, add water to oats, add protein, blah, blah, step by step basically. Or if it's more of a meal prep thing, we will put in like the full instructions on how to meal prep it. Dinner as well, we always try to put an example of how you can bank calories. Going to be a big one if you guys are like eating out, or if you have an event planned, we break it down for you. And again, we'll come up with a game plan together. One last feature is a little shopping list. So if we want to go 7 days for the week and go next,
What?
he's got it all. So if we go 7 days, we've got all the ingredients and how much of each. For example, 7 bananas, 700 grams of blueberries, etc. So everything's broken down into the 7 days, and you can also save this or print it out if needed, if you're into that. Supplements, again, everything with supplements has a link. So this comes down to personal preference, but if you did want to just buy it on the spot online, there's all links to take you to the website, and then a bunch of notes. Again, I'm not a doctor or anything, these are just recommendations. Cardio and steps, so again, everything's broken down with some notes for steps, and you can log cardio sessions if you have cardio, steady state, interval training, etc. We've got a content library within the app, so this is going to be more education and information for everyone. So takeaway guide, a lot of guys use this on the team where if they want KFC, they can just tap on this, they're on the road, whatever the case is. So that's a wrap on Byron's game plan and what we're going to be starting off with. From here, the focus for the first week is just going to be setting that foundation, building those habits, that routine, and then I guess, you know, communicating together so we can get along and make sure that everything day to day is realistic and it's not going to be out of reach. We spoke about earlier, potentially we can look at rescheduling like a bedtime, wake up time, more just like day-to-day consistent routine with steps and training. Again, we're going to make this more realistic, so it's not like I'm not going to make you go to bed at 7 p.m. if that's not what you do. We'll try and increase these steps day-to-day if we can. So I know 8,000 from what you're currently doing might be a bit of a stretch, but you know, I'm not going to throw you in the deep end and say let's do 12k a day just for this transformation. We're just still going to make it realistic. So even if you just start with one walk outside per day, doesn't matter what time of day, if you want to do it in the morning when you first wake up fasted, go get a coffee or something. That's probably going to be the best bet to start. Prep ahead of time if you can. If you prefer to cook fresh, that's sweet, but it's going to, again, cost you more time in the kitchen. So
Definitely.
we'll look at the options in your plan that's going to work best for actually prepping ahead of time. If we can do 7 days ahead, just set for 7 days. You can get your shop done at 6 days in, and then you're ready for the next 7 days. Yeah, how are you feeling about it all so far?
Oh fuck! I'm so excited. Like, it's been way too long. Like I was saying to Sage just before as well, that this has been the longest time I've been outside of the gym. My partner and I went to Bali for my birthday. Went to the gym a couple of times while there, but since we've been back, I think it's been like 4 weeks. So it's been like the first full month of zero training. Just trying to get myself more prepared for this. Better transformation stuff, you know. No, but I'm really really excited to just feel better in my body, get stronger, look better. I mean, you know, like it's a little bit surface level and shit, but like it's you feel good when you're looking good. Get stronger again, feel good in my body, feel able. Like, you know, it just transforms everything. Eating better, living better, moving more. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what we can get happening. New routines, just level up in every way.
Yes, sir. So if you guys are interested in following along the journey, seeing what we can do together, and again, I'm going to be dropping a bunch of free source, a bunch of heat and information, so you guys can implement this into your own weight loss. You know, feel free to incorporate any of these tips, or even reach out for some free help. Always happy to do as much as I can. But again, the whole point of this transformation is to show a realistic approach from someone that owns a business, someone that's busy every single day, 7 days a week, and show you that it can be done when you put in a little bit of work, and again, without some massive restriction on your diet. So feel free to incorporate anything. If you like the video, like, share, subscribe, and if you don't mind, put it on your story if you find some free value from it. I'll make sure our links are in the description so you can find my Instagram, Byron's Instagram, and I'll even put a free resource or something down there for you guys to go check out.